Hi everyone, I'm so glad that you're here and welcome. Glad that you signed up. My name is Cassandra Solano. I'm a licensed clinical social worker in the state of California and I'm a conscious relationship coach. So I help folks who are feeling unhappy or unfulfilled in their current relationships, or maybe they're not sure if they should be in their current relationships and are considering separation or divorce, or folks who are single and are just tired of having unhealthy relationships. Maybe they have had a series of unfulfilling, even toxic relationships, and they're ready to break free from the cycle, break free from this pattern, get back to maybe how they used to feel when the relationship first started and get unstuck. If you're having a hard time feeling like you can find people that are emotionally available, or maybe you're struggling and feeling like your partner and you aren't communicating, this is exactly the right spot for you. And today I'm going to talk about some very instrumental, foundational things that you need to know if you want to have a happy and healthy relationship, and if you want to heal and get down to some of the more core issues that may be causing you challenges in your relationship. So what's important to know, first of all, is that our relationship issues are often a reflection of unhealed or unprocessed things that happened to us maybe even before we even got into the relationship. And you might be thinking, Cassandra, but I had a great childhood and I had great parents, or I had everything I wanted, so that doesn't apply to me. Well, I have to share with you that regardless of how great your childhood may have been or how awesome your parents were, our parents, the people that raised us, are human and they make mistakes. And when they make mistakes, or they were just really busy, they weren't attuned or connecting with us in a way that we needed, even if it was just a few moments in our lifetime, that causes emotional trauma, leading to something called attachment trauma. So if you don't know your attachment style, if you've heard of like the Enneagram or even astrology, where you have different signs or different personality types, the Myers-Briggs personality type, and you don't know your attachment style, you're missing a huge piece of information that you need to know to help you to be healthy and happy in your relationship. So check out the attachment. It's a link that I sent in this email to go to my free handout on attachment styles and to maybe find which one or maybe more than one resonates with you. This is not to diagnose you as a certain attachment style, and it's not to say if you don't have the secure attachment style, which is the healthy one, that we all are growing towards healing and becoming more and more secure, that there's something wrong with you, or that you need medication, or I don't know, that there's no healing that. These things exist on a continuum, on a spectrum. The attachment styles are not fixed, meaning it's not like it's one and done the rest of your life. And you can show up with different attachment styles in different areas and different type of relationships in your life. So read through that very short handout and kind of see where you feel like maybe you resonate. There's also some really concrete, actionable tips that you can start to do to start healing from those attachment styles today. Cool. Got it? Okay. Next thing. I want to just honor what you have done so far to heal. I know that you have probably read self-help books. I know that maybe you've signed up for other courses or worked with other coaches before. Maybe you've even tried therapy. Maybe you thought if you just dated a particular type of person that would fix everything. Maybe you've tried meditation or, some other kind of personal development activity, workshop, seminar, and you are still having difficulties in your romantic relationships. This was me. I did this for 10 years, just stumbling around thinking if I did another silent meditation retreat, if I just somehow got more spiritual, I could transcend my ex-husband's issues and I could just not care about, worldly things like romance and relationships. And that is so it's called spiritual bypassing when we do that to ourselves. It's another way that we just kind of re-traumatize ourselves because we think that we can just kind of ignore it or push it down or maybe not make it a priority in our life. And I'll tell you a story. Back in 2006, when I was in school to be a counselor, when I first started this journey, we did something called a values assessment. And I want you to maybe think about this too, where we looked at, I don't know, maybe 10 core human values, things like family, recreation, career, financial success, romance, friendship, service and giving back. And there was a few more, but we had to kind of rank them from like highest to lowest. And we had to really decide which values were higher than others. We couldn't give two values third place, for example. Guess where I put love and romance? I put it second from the bottom of this list. And I was engaged. It should have been the most romantic time of my life, the time where I was so wrapped up in love and romance and celebrating it, because so much of my life and planning this big wedding with over 300 people was about love and romance. And it just like wasn't important to me. Now, why was that? Well, as I got on my healing journey and I started to understand that I didn't have great examples about what a happy, healthy, fulfilling marriage was. I didn't even know how awesome a happy, healthy marriage could be. I just thought marriage was something that needed to be tolerated. I just watched Cheer, that Netflix cheerleading documentary, because I was a college cheerleader. And there was this moment where they were interviewing these parents for one of the cheerleaders, and they were kind of like going back and forth, squabbling a little bit. And then the wife just goes, well, we've been married a long time. And I just thought, oh man, I'd love to work with this couple because oh, you've been married a long time, or, oh, I've just never had a healthy relationship, or, oh, in my case, all the marriages I saw in my family growing up were just like marriages out of obligation or cultural expectation or peer pressure, or there was a pregnancy, so there was a marriage, blah, blah, blah. Just really shaped my idea about love and romance to be something not important and definitely not something that I could have. So all that to say, I'm so glad you're here. I have been where you are at right now at some point in my life. And I am just glad that you have made this big first step to reach out and connect. The second thing I want to talk about is that healing isn't linear. So really quick biology lesson. We all have this nervous system in our body, and maybe you studied it in elementary school. You learned that the nervous system was kind of just for communicating physical sensations. Like if I put my hand on a hot stove, the nervous system will tell my brain that my hand is touching something hot, and then the brain will send a message back down to my hand to pull my hand away from something that's hot. Great, we learned like 1% of what the nervous system actually does. It does so much more, and we will go way more into understanding all of that so we can learn actually how to start almost hacking our nervous system to help us to get rewired for love and for connection. So just so you know that our nervous system, this thing that is part of our biology, is very much a part of nature, just like the tides of the ocean, just like the seasons of the year, just like the day, where there is this ebb and flow, this expansion and this contraction. The moon is my favorite example, and something that I work with a lot and help my clients learn how to work with, as the expansion and contraction. So just by signing up for this and saying, yes, I'm gonna check this out, you have already given your nervous system a beautiful expansion. But what comes with the expansion is contraction. It's kind of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But as we keep taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back over time, we will grow. But it's a process. So you might be feeling some contraction now that you've signed up for this. Your primal brain, your old ideas, the old fears and beliefs and anxiety might be talking to you really loudly right now, like, I don't know if I really want to follow through with this. I don't know if I'm ready for this. I don't know if I have time for this. I don't know if this is really going to work for me. I don't know if my marriage can really be healed. Yes. I hear you. Thank you so much, Primal Brain, for trying to keep me safe by keeping me the same and not changing and not expanding and growing. Because expansion is sometimes painful. Have you ever, been working out and, maybe a jogger, and you have been, I could jog 1 block. And then as you're trying to work on getting in shape more, you're like, I'm gonna jog an extra half a block and push myself. And whew, in that stretch, it is painful. Your lungs are on fire. You feel like you're gonna die, but then you do it, and then you do it again. And then you can jog for 2 blocks, and then you can jog for 3 blocks. So just like anything else in nature, there's a little bit of pain that comes with expansion, and that's why I'm here to support you in this process. And contraction. And that contraction is a beautiful time for integration. So if you're feeling kind of like, I don't know about this, it's okay. You're totally right where you're supposed to be. I've got you. And let's see. I'm got a little bit of notes here, so I just want to check. Finally, I want to bring home the point that when we are looking to heal, and especially if you're in relationship, or even if you're kind of doing this and thinking about your relationship with your parents or caregivers, the people that raised you, it's important to know we can only heal ourselves. But as we heal ourselves, we change our relationships. So you cannot make your partner sign up for this. You cannot make them read that self-help book, that relationship book. I begged and pleaded my ex-husband to go to therapy, to read a parenting book, to participate in this with me for years. And he refused and said, no, I'm not the one that has problems. You're the one that has a problem. You can do work on this. So you know what? I did. I didn't let him not participating in this healing process stop me from growing. And I still don't till this day with my current husband. He does what he needs to do and loves to do that fills up his cup. At the time I'm recording this video, he's over at his old treatment center. Some of you guys know, well, now you know, my husband and I are both in recovery and have been for many years, helping guys that are still in treatment center having a tough time and volunteering over there, because that's what he does to connect spiritually and what fills him up. And I love that about him. And I don't expect him to be doing all the things that I'm doing, because I respect and honor the differences in our relationship and stay committed to my path and to my growth, because I know that as I change and heal, it changes the relationship. I am only responsible for 50% of the relationship, but that means I have influence over 50% of the relationship. So my job is to take care of me, focus on my growth, work on showing up to feed the relationship, to nurture the relationship, to love on the relationship, because there's my husband, there's me, and then there's the relationship, this own entity that exists between us. It's like our baby. And we don't have any of our own kids. I have 3 kids and he has his daughter, and we have this awesome blended family. But our relationship is our baby, and we both have to show up to feed it, to water it, to nurture it, to give it time and care and attention. And that is what I need to focus on. So if you're in here thinking, oh, I'm gonna find a way to make my partner, right? No, we're not doing that. But I am gonna tell you, as you do this work and you start to shift and change and heal and grow, it's absolutely gonna change your relationship. I can't promise how. I don't have a crystal ball. Wish I did. But I will tell you that things are gonna change. Things are gonna get different, and they're gonna get better, okay? So please let me know if you have any questions about any of this before we start. I'm absolutely here to support you, to guide you. I'm really looking forward to continuing on this journey together, and I will see you guys in group. Okay, love you so much. Bye.